guys, so I'm back with another video, and today is a much requested demo slash review on this product, which is the Covergirl Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 foundation. I know you guys have probably seen a couple other gurus do reviews on it because it's kind of like the hot foundation right now. This is the regular line, and they also extended it into the Queen collection. I picked out shade Golden Tan, which is number 857. Now, I'm going to do a little backup, and I've never used Covergirl foundation probably since middle school in the 90s, and I've been kind of trying to get back into drugstore foundations, which have improved significantly over the last few years. I currently have dry skin, and my skin's pretty clear. The claim is that it has primer, foundation, and concealer built into one. And I've seen other people do demos of it, but I think that this would be kind of a good thing for me to do since I haven't seen anyone with necessarily my skin tone do it. So I'm going to give you a demo as well as a review. So first off, I bought mine at Walmart for about $9. They had a nice full range of shades at Walmart, and then I had seen it also like at the drugstore, probably like a Rite Aid or a Walgreens or CVS, but I noticed that they didn't have as many shades. So if you're looking for the full range, I would suggest Walmart. $9 and $10, you get a nice glass bottle. It's got a really convenient pump. It has SPF 20 in it. It's got 14 shades, so it's a decent amount of shades. And it also extends into the Queen collection, which is good because then it has even more shades for darker, deeper skin tones. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a demo and kind of walk you through it. I find that I can apply one pump for pretty much medium coverage and then 2 pumps for full coverage. And it does dry to more of a matte finish, so if you have dry skin, FYI on that. I typed up a full review, pros and cons, on my blog though, FYI. So what I usually do is I take some and I put it on the back of my hand. That's one pump right there. The first thing I'm going to do is show you how you can apply it for more everyday natural coverage, and then I'm going to show you its full potential for more maximum coverage. So what I do is I put on the back of my hand. I already have moisturizer on. I'm not doing any concealer or primer because it does claim to do 3-in-1 conceal, prime, and do foundation. So what I usually do, and mind you, I have some eyeliner, eyebrows, and lipstick on, but nothing on my face. I like to just kind of dot it on around my face. I'm only going to do one side. And the reason I do this is because I feel like I don't waste a product, and I can kind of get it where I need to, and then I'm going to go ahead and blend it in. So I just really dot it all over like that. And then I'm going to take a blender sponge that's damp. This is the Graftobian version. It's wet, so it's kind of damp and bigger than it usually is. And then I'll just take it, and then I'll just dot wherever I put the foundation in. This is going to give a really, really natural coverage. And I actually still only have 75% of the pump left. So I only have like a quarter of a pump on my half of my face. And I just kind of pounce it into my skin. And as you can see, you can get really, really, really nice coverage. This is a little bit more of a natural look, so I'm going to apply a little bit more. You can definitely build the layers. And I actually find that this color is right on, like for my winter complexion, this honey tan. No, I'm sorry, it's golden tan. I got really, really lucky that I happened to find the right color. So a lot of times I find that drugstore foundations kind of go beige on my skin, but this tan shade has the right amount of brown and yellow in it. Okay, I'm going to put, see, this is still one pump left on my hand. I'm going to put more of it underneath my eye, right here, and then flip over to the pointy side and tap it in. Make sure to always go onto the jaw and blend down. So as you can see, it's like a perfect match. I'm just gonna take the rest of it and focus it right where I usually need it more, which is right in this area. Get a little bit right there. Dab it in. And I like to do a pouncing motion so that way it doesn't tend to remove the coverage. If I had taken my sponge and dipped it right directly into the foundation, it would have absorbed more product as opposed to me placing it first on my skin, then it doesn't absorb as much. So a really beautiful natural finish. I'm going to show you what it looks like now with full coverage. So I'm going to take another pump, and then I'm going to take my Sedona flat buffer brush and dip it in. And this, I do it this way because this is the flat and dense, so it doesn't absorb as much. Then I'm just going to buff it into my skin, and as you can see, it's a big difference when you do it this way. Now, when I apply it full coverage like this, you're going to see how it kind of looks a little different on my skin in terms of the color. When I first applied it, I was kind of nervous because it looked real beige. Like you might notice it's looking really, really beige on my skin, which was a concern of mine with a lot of drugstore foundations. But interestingly enough, with this foundation, it sets itself a little bit after a few minutes of wearing it, so it actually kind of adapts to my skin and it darkens a little bit. So FYI, if you buy a foundation, you know, consider that whatever you buy will look a little bit darker in your skin, which is a good thing for me because it looks a little bit more brown. Now, this will definitely not work for me into the summer because it's going to be too light, but I'll probably just go one shade up. So that's more of a full coverage. I'm going to apply one more pump and kind of get this side even, and maybe just a little bit more just to kind of give you guys the full coverage. I've also used my fingers to apply this, and it worked out pretty well as well. Now, the fact that it says it primes, like it has a primer built in, I noticed that my pores still show through a little bit, but it's pretty good. I had someone comment on my Instagram that it didn't cover up their acne scars or texture on their skin. So if you do have that issue, you might want to go ahead and still use a primer that will kind of fill in any texture on your skin. So here's what it looks like. Now give it a few minutes to kind of set, and you'll notice that it will deepen a little bit and then it'll also dry. And when it dries to actually a matte semi-powder finish, which is interesting because usually I always do a dewy foundation and I always set my foundation with a setting powder, some kind of loose or pressed powder. That's just my method. I always set my makeup because I think you have to always set your foundation. But I've worn this without setting it and it's been fine. So I noticed now it's starting to dry. And when I wore it, I didn't have any issues with it like transferring or anything. I wasn't rubbing up on my shirt or my boyfriend's shirt, but it seemed like it held. I've worn this to go see a basketball game. I've worn this to the club. I've had it in a couple of FOTDs on my blog, and it photographs really, really well. It doesn't have any weird flashback. It just looks really nice and it lasts a pretty long time. So that's pretty awesome. I think this is definitely more of a full coverage, but I don't think that you can necessarily skip on your concealer because I still need something to cover up my under eye circles. And if you keep layering the foundation, it kind of gives you more of a kicky look, I think, as opposed to spot treating areas that need a little extra help with concealer. So now it's pretty dry, and as you can see, like it matches my neck even pretty well, which is a surprise because a lot of times I have to kind of bronze here to match, and then my forehead is always darker, but it definitely covered up my darker forehead a little better. So to show you that you can apply product on top because it dries to a powder finish, I'm just going to take this blush from MAC. It's Harmony Matte Powder Blush, and then I'm going to take my Tulip Contour Brush from Sedona Lace, and then I'm just going to apply it right on top. And this is going to be my blush slash contour, and I've done this before and it worked out just fine. Unlike a regular foundation, which wouldn't really set itself, the powder glides on smooth, because if you have like more of a wet foundation, your powder would just like catch irregularly. So this is what I would do to kind of compensate. And I have my brows and eyeliner on, and so it kind of looks like I have makeup, a full makeup look on. So as you can see, the powder glided on really nicely, and I can even take my foundation brush and kind of clean up right here. So that's the final look. You can go from a light finish if you want with a damp beauty blender, or build it up to medium or full coverage. I actually really like this foundation. I think it looks really nice on the skin. I'm surprised. It really impressed me as a drugstore foundation. You'll actually see this making my February favorites. And for $9, I definitely recommend. I would say since drugstore foundations can be tricky with shades, definitely try to buy it from the drugstore where you can return makeup even if it's open because it's the wrong shade. And just like, once again, I am shade 857, and I definitely think it was worth the $9. It really kind of changed my mind about foundations from the drugstore, and I will be definitely using this throughout the winter until probably I get a little bit darker and I can't wear it anymore. So that is my demo. Let me know what you guys think about this foundation if you've tried it. I personally like it, but I want to know what you guys think, and I know it's helpful for others to read the comments below. So that's it for now. Like I said, I will have a full review along with pictures and all of that on my blog at makeupbyrunrun.com. Pros, cons, all that jazz. But that is it for my foundation review and demo of the Covergirl Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 foundation. I hope you guys enjoyed, and until next time, have a great night. Ciao, bellas.